It's safe to say our prayers were heard. Triple H for sure wrote tonight's SmackDown. Thank you. I was shaky. I did not know how tonight's SmackDown was gonna go. For starters, we started the match off with a 6-man tag. It was a pretty decent showing. It was the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium, which you can always, you know, if you got Pete Dunne, Sheamus, Gunther, boys from Imperium, and the rest of the Brawling Brutes, if you got all of them together, it's a hard-hitting, pretty decent match. Then we had an interesting match, but a sleeper. Ivar versus Ricochet, which I had to tell some people, don't get it twisted. Ivar is a big boy, but he can move. Of course, Ricochet gets the win. That makes sense because Ricochet's been used more lately. Not sure where they're going with that, but I like it. It was a good match it was a good mid-card match. Then from there, we get to Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, and I was in the chat. Shout out to everybody that came through in the chat, man. We had a good time watching SmackDown together. Had a nice little side cast. If you want to check us out, I'm going to be doing it on Fridays. I also want to give a shout out to Kevin, Maurice, and Anthony, and Ezra. I appreciate y'all for tuning into the stream, man. That was so much fun. Be sure to hit subscribe. It's probably gonna be the only time I say that in this video. But we got Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Raquel and Liv got the W. Makes sense. I really do think we should be pushing Raquel. I like her. She's a force, and she's a believable opponent for a championship. Then after that, we got the man himself, Triple H, which is crazy because I used to hate Triple H when I was younger. He was such a good heel. He made me just dislike him, even though I love DX. Something about Triple H, but he is just, he's him today. Triple H starts out his promo speaking about all the records that were set at WrestleMania, all of the things that, you know, were accomplished over the weekend, all of the financial records, all of the social media records, the viewership records, all of that, right? And then he says, which was a great segue, flawless. He was saying that we did all of that, but now WrestleMania is behind us, and we're about to talk about the future. And then he hit us with the iconic, "Are you ready?"
I said, are you ready?
Somebody get this man a trophy. Give him a raise, give him something. So for a second, I didn't know exactly where he was gonna go. I thought he was gonna address the Vince McMahon situation, and he was gonna go in that direction, but he was talking about the WWE draft, which that is the future, because that's this upcoming season, or this next year of talent. What brand are they gonna be on? And he was saying that, you know, every superstar is eligible, so we're gonna be able to see some fresh matches, some fresh championship contenders, and hopefully some fresh storylines. Right after that, he brings out the SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, and she comes out with Judgment Day. Now, everything was cool, you know, fine promo with Rhea, but when Dom got on the microphone, heat. Dom is getting nuclear heat. And it's crazy because he lost at Mania. Dom is doing everything, and I said this in another video, Dom is doing everything to be a legitimate heel, and I like what they're doing with Dominic. And then after that, Damian Priest addresses the whole situation with Bad Bunny, because if you remember, at WrestleMania 37, they were tag partners, so there's some history there. And then, bro, it's a nostalgia act, but I don't care. The LWO is fire. But of course, Dominic and Damian Priest, they get the dub. And then I can't remember what order it was in, but one of my favorite parts is, if you've watched my 2K content or my 2K videos on here, you know Xavier Woods is who I look up to. They featured my guy, and I love how they're incorporating the video games aspect with Xavier Woods. That is his strong suit. Why would you not do that? But then comes out the man LA Knight, and he addresses what everybody's been wondering. Why in the hell would you not have LA Knight in LA? Why would you scrap that? Next week, I'm looking forward to this match of LA Knight and Xavier Woods. That was such a great teaser. And then the last match that we had was Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn. But before we get to that, there was an exchange with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was saying he needed to talk to Jay. There's still something there. The writing's still on the wall, man. Jay is being hard-headed. He doesn't want to. He hears it. Doesn't want to believe it, but he hears it. So they're going into that direction. Jay Uso, I think this was earlier in the program, Jay Uso interrupted an interview with Solo and Paul Heyman. True Jay fashion. He's like, you know, what's up, OG? Blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And then Paul, when Jay walked away, was like, first of all, he said that Jimmy wasn't there tonight. And Roman wasn't there tonight. That Jay needed to do it on his own, and they had main event Jay Uso, so he was the main event of SmackDown. Which I love the storytelling, man. This Triple H's hands is all over it. Then after that, Jay walks away. Solo is standing there with Paul, and Paul's saying either Jay handles it, the Sami Zayn problem, or you, Solo, handle our problem. And we all know what that meant. We can read between the lines. They're trying to turn Solo against Jay if Jay doesn't fall in line or he doesn't do what he needs to do in this situation with Sami Zayn. Fast forward to the match. Jay Uso and Sami Zayn, they do a great job of storytelling in the match. Jay Uso gets the win due to some shenanigans with Solo. I told the guys in the chat, I'm like, it's 5 minutes left. Now here comes the storytelling. No shenanigans like Monday Night Raw. We're not gonna talk about Monday Night Raw. Solo starts just beating on Sami. And the whole time, Jay's standing in the background just looking. But he's also looking like he wants to stop it. But I also think that, wow, I say also a lot. I think that he stopped Solo. He gave Sami Zayn a super kick that shields him, no pun intended, from Roman. So that way it looks like, hey, I didn't just stop him to save him. I stopped him because this is the way I want to do it. And he told Solo to go get a chair. And then out comes Matt Riddle, which I think we all forgot. Solo was the one who kayfabe got rid of Matt Riddle. I think it was last year sometime. I can't remember if it was SummerSlam, Elimination Chamber, one of those two, or one of those pay-per-views. But he got rid of Sami Zayn. Not Sami Zayn. He got rid of Matt Riddle. We forgot. We thought it was random, but this wasn't like the Brock situation. This was actually a long-term story, or this was a callback, which I can appreciate that. And then SmackDown went off the air. Bravo. Bravo. Way to bounce back from whatever the hell Monday Night Raw was. You can't tell me this did not have Triple H's hands on it. Now, I'm literally recording this at 10:20, so SmackDown just went off 20 minutes ago. I am very interested to know all of the details that were on the back end of SmackDown tonight. So that was just my synopsis. I think this was a great way to bring back SmackDown. Let me know in the comments, how did y'all feel about tonight's show? And as always, I will see you back in the ring. Peace.